I just wanted to get on here for about half an hour and talk about what's going on in the news. Sean Diddy Combs has been acquitted of 3 charges. He's been acquitted of, sex trafficking and racketeering. And the sentencing will be held on October 3rd. Here's a t-shirt right here. It says a freak off is not a RICO charge. But the sentencing is going to be on the 3rd of October. And it looks like he could end up with 3 to 5 years in prison. They did find him guilty of sex crimes with his girlfriends, but that's about all. But one other interesting aspect of the case is he will not get bail until he will not get bail. He's going to have to remain in jail until the sentencing. Combs is not a danger to the community. Man Act violators tend to be making money off of workers, but that's not the situation with Combs, his attorney said. Angie Felino insisted Combs is nothing like the typical person convicted under the Mann Act, because his bad acts don't involve his controlling workers. Combs looks deflated after his release is denied. Combs has been sitting with his head down and his hands in his lap. So, let's see. So what do you guys think about Sean Diddy? Do you think he was guilty of all of these things he was accused of? Do you think he was innocent? Should he be getting any jail time at all? Is Trump going to pardon Diddy? Me personally, I think Trump is going to pardon Diddy, and I don't think he's going to see a day in jail. Because with everything that's going on right now with Iran and the nuclear sites and all that, I think that Trump is going to pardon Diddy to kind of take attention away from what's going on overseas. Hi, Cutler B68. What are your thoughts on the Diddy verdict? Today he was just found not guilty on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. And he's been found guilty on 2 other charges. Hi, Evelyn Gorska. Welcome. Welcome. So today we're talking about 2 things. We're talking about the Diddy trial, and we're talking about the big, beautiful bill that Trump is trying to get passed that would cut Medicaid funding and could possibly lead to the deaths of over 50,000 Americans. So my first question is, are you or your family members in a situation to be negatively impacted by the big, beautiful bill? He's going to be cutting funding for Medicaid if this bill passes, which will make it so that insurance will not be able to pay for medications and health treatments. And like I said, the other topic is Diddy. Let me turn the camera around. This is a funny t-shirt that somebody was wearing at his trial. Let's see. The verdict is seen as a victory for Combs, who was cleared of the most serious charges. His defense team opted not to call witnesses before it rested. The judge denied bail, and Combs will remain detained until his sentencing, which has been set for this fall. Prosecutors said they will seek a 4 to 5 year prison sentence. Let's see. Combs is no pimp, and he is not a danger to the community, defense says. Judge says Combs' personal circumstances don't warrant release. Submarinian said the prosecution appropriately cited the section of the Bail Reform Act that requires that Combs remain in custody until his sentencing, which has some exceptions. Combs' circumstances do not warrant those exceptions, he decided. According to the Bail Reform Act, defendants who have been convicted must prove that they do not pose flight risk or danger to the community to be released in the interim. Prosecutors argued that Combs did not meet that burden and provided letters on behalf of two witnesses who were worried about the danger that Combs might pose upon release. So, what are your thoughts on this whole thing, Do you think that Combs deserves to spend even a day in jail? Do you think that Trump is going to pardon Diddy? I think he's going to pardon Diddy, like I said before. I think that this would be a perfect distraction from what Trump is doing overseas. And, I just think he would do it. He pardoned the Chrisleys just last month, Todd and Julie Chrisley. They were convicted on charges of tax evasion, and they spent 2 years in federal prison. And then on May 28th, they just got pardoned. Now they're out of prison. Now they've got a podcast with Savannah. Matter of fact, let's look them up. Let's see what they're doing. Then I'm going to move to the big, beautiful bill. Let's see. Todd and Julie Chrisley. I don't know if you've heard of these people, but Todd and Julie Chrisley. See, 2 days ago. Julie Chrisley says her health was deteriorating in prison due to alleged poor condition. Julie Chrisley is speaking out about the allegedly poor condition she faced in prison, claiming they took a physical toll on her body. I could see my health deteriorating, Julie, 52, said in an ABC News special that aired on Hulu. I didn't see that. On Sunday, June 29th. I'm going to have to watch that. The former Chrisley Knows Best star, who was held at the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky, said that she developed health issues, including asthma, during her 28-month stint behind bars. Julie and her husband, Todd Chrisley's daughter, Savannah Chrisley, previously made similar claims about the Kentucky facility on her Unlocked podcast in July. In the visitation room, thank goodness there's air conditioning, but outside the visitation room there is zero air conditioning, and the heat index was between 105 to 110 degrees, Savannah claimed. And that's what Mom is living in conditions like that, which have with absolutely no air, and it can be 100 degrees inside the building. Savannah continued, she literally said that she got physically sick because she got so hot. So you have these women who are suffering from heat exhaustion and they're passing out. But yet, there are service dogs at the same facility that have air conditioning. So I didn't know that. It's probably one of the reasons why they got out. And here's their picture. They're supposed to be able to start a new show. Or I think their existing show is coming back. Crystal knows best. Probably next year. So that's exciting. It looks like time to get a haircut. And then lastly, big, beautiful bill. All right, let's see. Trump's big, beautiful bill. So I watched the news this afternoon, and it appears that for now the bill is stalled in the House. So they're in the House of Representatives right now. I heard that Republicans, some members of the GOP, were against the bill. That's why it is stalling. And it looks like they're currently in debate in the House of Representatives. It's 5:46 where I live. This was posted 21 minutes ago on CBS News. It looks like this is all the information it's going to give me. Let's see if I can find something else on it. So, the big beautiful bill, what are your thoughts on it? Do you have a family member who is in a condition where they cannot survive without Medicaid? Because what's going to happen is if this bill is passed, funding is going to be cut for Medicaid, which means people aren't going to be able to pay to get their treatments. Let's see, Trump administration live updates. Health leaders and White House officials scramble to sway GOP holdouts on Trump agenda bill. Let's see, the House is aiming to vote on a rule for floor consideration of President Donald Trump's so-called big beautiful bill, a day after Senate Republicans made changes that hurt many of their House GOP colleagues. House Democrats delayed the procedural vote by submitting amendments after Democratic leadership vowed to stop it. Republican holdouts remain. The House floor has remained open for several hours on procedural votes as Republican leaders struggle to gain enough support within their own party to move forward with debate. Votes can be held open as long as GOP leadership wants. Weather complicates travel. Speaker Mike Johnson said he hoped a final vote would take place today or tomorrow at the latest because they're trying to get this passed by the 4th of July. A wild card, he said, is the weather. Storms in many parts of the country canceled flights, which is making it harder for some lawmakers to get to Washington. So what I'm going to do now is I might come back later tonight and do this again when there's hopefully more traffic. But this is going to be up on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. So yeah, let me see. I'm going to log